Welcome to One Last Turn. Today we are starting a brand new series of Alchemy Factory. We're going to be doing a one plot challenge or no buy challenge or the architect achievement challenge. Basically, we're not allowed to buy any additional plots of land. We can only use the starting shop location, and obviously we can build vertically, but we can't expand in the other directions. We'll see how far minimal and optimal builds can take us within this confinement. The goal isn't speed. We're going to take it nice and slow, but we want to do efficiency and scalability, and we're just going to have to take any problems that comes as they come up. Let's just make a new save and jump straight into it. So this is Alchemy Factory and you haven't played the game before. We're gonna skip the tutorials here. If you haven't played the game before, the tutorial is actually pretty decent, so just follow along on that. But this is a medieval, like, factory simulator sort of game, but with a twist in that we have this little shop where we sell all the items and stuff that we produce. Um, and then we have these quests. Here on day one, we have this main quest. There's a few of those, and then it's permanent, so it doesn't have an expiration timer. And then eventually, we'll also get some daily quests, which give like above market value, which is the price just put in the store. Above market value prices. To begin with, we are gonna wanna get this questing going. So we wanna make some large wooden gears. If we look at press V down here, we have our different menus. Press V, we can see our goods that we can make. Can't make anything yet because first we need to go into C or Z, which is the research tab, and we need to start researching the first couple of not buildings but like building blocks, at least somewhat. We're gonna need the table saw, which gives us our planks, and we're gonna need our grinder, which gives us our large wooden gear. We need the grinder. It takes planks and it produces a large wooden gear and takes 6 seconds. So let's just get that down here in the beginning. Let's put it on a table so we have some height, and eventually we probably won't be doing this, but just for demonstration purposes it's a little bit easier, especially with these smaller builds. So we can rotate and stuff like that. You notice it has an input, that's for later, so for now we're just gonna care about the output, which comes from here. Also gonna want to research conveyor belts to move stuff, and we're gonna want to research the small storage chest as well, so we can store stuff. Not a big fan of the incline conveyor belts, so I'm just gonna leave those for now. But as you can see, we now have conveyor belts, and we can move those however we like. It's really satisfying, at least I feel like, the way the placement mechanics of the belts work. Very nicely done. Anyways, we're gonna need a grinder. Unfortunately, we can't see recipes on the grinder, but if we just drop a few planks in here, and see, it takes 10 planks per minute to produce 10 large wooden gears. And then we can take a box, put it in there, and now we got some wooden gears going. So how do we get this to work? We need some logs, and here we have a little shop area where we can purchase logs, we can purchase limestone and iron ore, which are the next couple of materials that we need. So we're just gonna put it in here. We can either use the G and add logs like that, or we can open it up and put stuff into it. And it will produce 30 planks per minute. So a lot more than this grinder can handle. If we just do like this instead, whoops. Now we have 3 grinders, each running at 10 per minute, with our 30 per minute from the table saw. So we'll be getting 30 per minute of these gears. Nice. And now all there's left to do is just wait. See, in the research we can't move on to level 2 and the next couple of things until we have completed our main quest. So we need our 20 wooden gears to move on to the next area of research. Have that there. Cool. So next we gotta make some linen ropes, and if we look at the research, first thing you need is a stone crusher, and then linen rope is all the way over here. However, instead of going down that route immediately, we want to unlock the processor and the mortars, because the mortars, they sell really well in our shop. We're also gonna want to get one of these shop things where we can sell our goods. Let's get another table down here. Just preemptively get a piece of limestone, and we can make, just gotta get some of our gears, we can make a stone crusher. So the stone crusher takes limestone, turns it into stone at 20 per minute, and then with the stone we have our processor. Here we set a recipe to the mortar. It needs 15 per minute. So the ratio isn't really that, it's not perfect. What we would have to do is get 3 stone crushers and 4 processors to get the even ratio. That would get us to 12 mortars per second or per minute. But we do also want some stone for building purposes. So if we just split this up, we're gonna reduce our mortar production, but at least we'll get some stone that we can build with. So let's look further into the tech tree here. We're gonna want to unlock small wooden gears. They're quite annoying to keep stocked in the shop, but they're really handy, and they will also allow us to make a large storage box eventually. Let's get a seed plot just so we can get that part started. 4 linen ropes. We're gonna wanna get some flax. We're gonna need some stone to make these seed plots. But what we do is we go into the larger shop area here. We can buy some seeds, flax seeds, and we can plant those. And the reason why we want to get to this a little early, even though we're not ready to use it, is because it takes a while for the seeds to grow. And the day, you can see here up in the hut over here, we have a time, and the day ends at 10 or 2200 hours, 10 p.m. I'm pretty sure. And when the day ends and a new day begins, it fast forwards the time to, I believe it's 6 a.m. or 8 a.m., something like that. and our seeds will grow. So we are gonna wanna make sure to have seeds planted, as many as we can, before the day ends. That way we get a bunch of produce the day after. One thing that isn't so well taught in the tutorial is that you can middle mouse click to copy paste. You can also press B, which is a clone mode, and here you can select stuff to also either clone. You can also select and cut to move, and you can even, when having B, you can select like an area. So that's really neat to have and to know, in my opinion. Let's get 2 more seeds. I think we can probably make 1 more plot. And we'll just quick plant the flax seeds. So we'll get a few bundles of flax in the morning. We should probably also put a box on our mortars so it doesn't clog up, because there is a maximum amount that a machine can store. But we have a few mortars here, so let's put them up for sale so we can get some money back. And we can get some of these as well. And hopefully some customers will enter and buy our stuff. In the meanwhile, we can just... Oh, yep. 48 copper. It's not a lot, but then again, we have a pretty limited amount of money here in the beginning, so every little bit counts. Let's arrange our hotbar, at least how I want to have it. For now, let's do this. Alright. Don't want to research linen thread yet. We want to make our small wooden gears. And I think we're just gonna move this, cut, replicate. We're gonna want to get some more logs because it seemed like we ran out. For each, we don't want to be overspending either on logs. That would be bad. Anyways, so we have our 30 per minute of large wooden gears here. We can turn that into, whoops, and that's the day. We can see our income as well as our expenses. Obviously, our expenses are gonna exceed our income at this point, but that is to be expected. Okay, so this takes 5 per minute. Each of these, and produces 15. Each of these make 10. So we're really overproducing the large gear compared to the small wooden gears. So I will just, let's take and let's cut this, and let's put it like this. And it's still overproducing, but we're producing a little bit more. And we'll just put in 2 boxes here. There, nice. And we're getting some small wooden gear now. And sure, it's not an optimal ratio or anything, but this is just a beginner building, so we can get some of the stuff going. We'll be making it more efficient and to the ratios and everything like that when we get a little bit further, get a little bit more of the unlocks as well. Let's check our flax. It has all grown, and we should probably get some more seeds as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Would like to make 1 more plot. a few pieces of stone to do that. We have a customer. And you can see here we have both a carpenter request to get a lot of planks, and we have a random quest, planks and stone. So one thing right now we're not producing is exactly planks. We know that we're overproducing on the gears here, especially because we're actually overproducing even more. So let's just do this so we can get some planks, which are our building materials, so we would be running out, which would not be good. We have another customer, and let's get this linen stuff started. The reason why I didn't research it earlier is because we have something called reputation. It's not that big of a deal right now, but what you want to do is make sure that everything that you can produce in your V tab, you have the goods, every good you have in the V tab needs to be stocked in your store. Otherwise, people are gonna come in and they're gonna be angry that they can't buy it. So immediately when you research something, it's gonna get added to your goods tab and people are gonna expect it. So that is why most of the time you're gonna wanna wait with researching. Now, linen thread and linen rope. Getting some copper back. Nice, nice, nice. Unlock the linen thread and the rope. And let's see, how do we make it? We make it by linen thread. How do you make linen thread? Well, we make that in a processor from flax fiber, and we make that by grinding flax. So let's set up a few grinders. Let's just do it in this corner over here. We're gonna want our flax to live somewhere, and then we want our grinders. We need some more planks for that. Good thing we set that up. Let's see how the ratio is on the flax. 20 per minute. If we look at our character on tab, we have this world. We can see our conveyor belt speed is 60 per minute. So given that we can supply the box, this would actually be an optimal ratio. Oh, and we ran out of stone. Gotta keep that stocked. Maybe shouldn't have bought two, but oh well. Anyways, we have 60 per minute of flax fiber. Put that into a processor which needs 60 per minute, so we got 20 per minute of linen thread, which goes into another processor to make rope. It needs 20 per minute, so we'll be producing 10 per minute as long as we're able to keep this box supplied with flax. So this is a neat little build. I like having these in between conveyors just in case want to drop down a box there to grab some of the stuff. I can't actually remember if linen thread is needed for something else. I'm pretty sure it is. Actually, you can see here that it's used in a secondary recipe, so maybe eventually we're gonna wanna have a box here, so that way we don't have to move stuff. So at least with our current technology, this is as compact. Obviously you can bend it and stuff, but this is as compact as it's going to get. And we're just gonna have to keep filling in stuff here. And we're gonna keep stocking up our shop so that people are happy. So many wooden gears goes into one of these. Slightly annoying. Let's see if we can unlock this large storage box. That way we can have more flags in our box. And that would be quite neat. Need a few more planks for that. And we're out of wood. So let's get some wood. Can get 2 more wood, it's not that expensive, and we're gonna need it anyways. And currently we do actually have the money. Let's see if we can get this so we can unlock the wooden box. And if we could get to this, as you can see here, there's a 130% reward on market price, which means that we get more money than this is actually worth. Then again, it is our building materials, so it might not be the wisest. I think I'm gonna double this setup. So we can get some more stone and some more mortars. We seem to be running out of mortars almost immediately. And it is like our biggest per item price, at least. So we can see obviously at the end of the day there's the summary, but I think it's also one of our highest earners. Let's replant our flags, and we're going to be doing this quite a lot for these first couple of levels. Let's look ahead a little bit. Right now we're just waiting on the rope. We're almost there at the 50 mark, and this next level is where it starts getting a little bit more interesting, a little bit more difficult. There's some more processes and some different kinds of stuff that we need, but we're also gonna get conveyor lifts, which make for a lot more nice and compact builds. So that is gonna be nice. Nice thing about rope is they also sell for quite a lot, and we are producing 10 per minute, whereas we're only doing currently we're doing like, well, not entirely 6 per minute, because we're doing like 4 per minute currently, which is a little on the lower side, but rope should be good to come into the store as well. Okay, now we can do our main quest, get some money there as well, which really helps out. And another main quest, next time we gotta make healing potion. Okay. Let's see here. Let's start with the conveyor lift. We also need to get this catapult for resupplying stuff. I got a full box of large wood gears here. Awesome. Let's get some rope in the store as well. Sweet. Now, the catapults are a really neat invention, in my opinion. Or a really neat piece of technology in this game, in my opinion. Both because we can use it to get stuff into these boxes here, but also because it just looks cool as it really looks cool. We have quite a bit of material floating around on this deck, but we do also need quite a lot of material in our hands, so I'm not too worried. Let's take this, let's cut it. When you cut, everything goes into your inventory, be mindful of that, but we are going to just rearrange this a little bit. There we go, and then we will also move this over here. Get some rope. Now the first one here. Then we'll place our catapult, and with the catapult we can set the target. Invalid angle though. Put it here. There we go. And what you'll notice, once we get some stuff in here at least, it will shoot the items into here. Pretty neat if you ask me. Oops, this one instead. Where we don't have to stock it. I really like to get one for these as well, but I'm not sure it can actually fit in this configuration. So let's get a secondary table. Let's move this out of the way a little bit. We'll take this, we will do this, and then we will get a singular grinder. Now we can see here what is actually our most important selling items, and that is obviously the mortar right now. It makes a lot more money than the other ones do, but then again we weren't 100% stocked, so we will see how that changes when we have 100% stock going. We earned a bit more than we spent though because of that quest reward, but without the quest reward we're actually in the negative, so that is something to keep in mind. But we did spend 50 of our rope on the quest, so it's okay to have it somewhat in there. So we're okay, but a little rough. Let let's delete this and this. And we will just take these two and cut and move them. I guess here is fine. What we want is some more rope. How is our linen? Is fine, and we need to harvest our flax as well. We want it here, I think. Yep, that looks fine. This goes there, and of course we want a box as well. So now we have large and small wooden gears being produced and automatically stocked, which is great. That also means that we can almost move on. I would like to stock the other ones automatically as well. And one way we can do that is move this off of the table using our conveyor belts. Don't actually need mortars for anything, so we can just stock the entirety of that. And then here we will stock, but we'll also stockpile a bit of rope because we need the rope. Okay, so now everything is automatically stocked. We just need to make sure that we have the correct items. Got a new random quest. So we do need mortars for random quests though. That is something to keep in mind. What we're really low on is planks, it seems. So maybe we should just move this back one. And that way we can also have a takeoff of planks on this one for when it is congested. It's gonna run all the time, but that way we can get some more planks. Of course, we can also just create a dedicated table saw for making some planks out of some logs at this point, but let's see if this won't do for now. Okay, so we got our we don't have our flax going, so let's make sure that we get some flax seeds, and we're also gonna wanna get some more, and we're also gonna wanna get some sage seeds for our next foray, which is gonna be the assembler. And then we can go straight into these healing potions. Still really would like to get this done. We have 1 day left on this one. Now let's see, what does healing potions take? Sage powder and flax fiber. Well, we already know how to make flax fiber at 60 per minute. And then we have the sage powder, which is also in a grinder. So let's get a box down like this. And some grinders. We'll also just take this and copy it a few times. Flax, 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 sage, sage, and yeah. So we got some going there. A little bit of flax going here. And the next step we need is none of this. So how do we make the healing potion in an assembler? Which is this new machine here. And it needs 60 and 60, and I'm pretty sure that we just need the same setup for the sage. And one thing we can actually check that. This takes 3 seconds, and this takes 3 seconds. And it takes one, creates one in 3 seconds. And that's the same here, which means they have the same ratios. So we should be able to get some more planks, hopefully. Okay, we are getting a few. We still have some logs left. We need some more stone though. If you go into blueprint mode and press R, you can get your latest selected blueprint, and if you want to override the direction, it doesn't always work, but sometimes you can just drag over it. So yeah, we put sage in here, and that should be our healing potions. So we just need to have the sage grow, and it takes a little bit longer than the flax, so I think it's probably just gonna be here in the morning, day 4. Having a bit of a slow start to explain everything, but then hopefully we will go from there. We can, if we want to, just end the day. But we do have some more research to do. At least we need a potion shelf to actually sell our potions. And we can go into the iron making as well, although maybe not, don't have enough money for that. Let's see, this is 570. One thing we should do though is our unallocated upgrade points. I'm gonna upgrade the logistics efficiency so we can do 90 per minute builds, and also the factory production so that we get 50% more product out of everything. That will help immensely with production. And now everything is just that much faster and requires that much more stuff and produces that much more stuff. So that should really help. We need some more wood. There's a bunch of different upgrades, and every time you clear a main quest you get 2 points, and then further along you are able to create some items that you can turn in for experience that will in turn level you up and give you more points. Logistics efficiency and factory efficiency go well together in my opinion. Obviously you could just go for logistics efficiency, but that would mean bigger builds, which wouldn't necessarily and normally be a bad thing, but since we're trying to go for the one plot challenge and not buying any land, our area is limited, so we kind of want to get the best ratios, size to production amount as we can. And as far as I know so far, that is to let them follow each other, because the ratios are actually pretty decent in the base game, or without any points. Then there's also fertilizer value and fuel efficiency, which is a thing for later. Well, fuel efficiency we'll get to in a minute, but these are also very nice and can help. This one, alchemy skill, is for later. Much later in the game. There's a sales ability, which will increase the profit and also the amount of items that people are buying, which is also nice later on when you have more stock and you have a more replenished stock and stuff like that. For example, our mortars run relatively low, relatively quickly. So if we just increase what they buy by 100%, then we're gonna be in trouble. Not in trouble, but it's not gonna be as efficient. And then there's this negotiation skill, which is a thing for later. But what I meant to say is there's this customer management, which increase the quest rewards, which can be quite significant because the quest rewards are already an above market price, so you can get a lot more money out of this. And then every 4th you also get an additional daily random quest, which is really nice. That way you can get, multiples of these per day with rewards from 130. There's a 130, a 160, and a 200% market price. That it's random which one you get. The 130 is the most common, and then onwards, obviously. But yeah, that is nice to. It can be nice to have at least for getting some big chunks of cash, but eventually we are not going to be needing money. So yeah, let's see. Is this about? It's not about to run out yet, but we do want to get some more stone. Let's just get one for each. We did get a decent amount of money in, so let's just unlock this part, and we can see the day is almost over anyways. But let's see if we can't. So with an automatic stock of everything, it seems like rope is our biggest moneymaker, and then the mortars come after that. We're a little bit under profit, which is fine. But that should hopefully change somewhat soon. Let's get our sage and flax going. And our healing potions. We do have quite a few planks and quite a few stones now. Let's get our rope. And hopefully we can do some quests. You can see this one is 200%. It's urgent, so there's no more days to do it. I think I'm going to do it even though it's quite a bit of our rope, but it will net us a lot of money. Each silver is 1,000 copper, so this is 5,400. That is really gonna help at this point. And then we should start with this one because it expires today, but we can still do this one. And then we just need a few more planks to do our carpenter quest. But we unlocked a little bit more stuff. And what we did unlock is this furnace and the iron smelter, which goes on top. So basically the way it works is that you need to fuel the furnace, and then it provides heat to whatever's on top, and you can then smelt stuff like iron. We get a free piece of iron from the previous quest, so we don't have to buy that, which is nice to get us started. And fuel can really be anything with a burn value. And I think right now the only thing, or it has a heat value, is logs, as well as planks. Yeah, so we're just gonna go with planks. Let's get one of these in here, and we will just rearrange stuff here a slight bit. Do this, and we are gonna need some logs in general. Put one here, and we'll put two on these ones. And we are producing our healing potions nice and steadily. We need 100 to get to the next level. So now this is burning, and this is producing, and we need to go somewhere. We don't have room for a table right here. We're so close to being able to do the commander quest though, so just gonna wait for that. A few moments. There we go. We need a few to build it as well. There we go. And we can create need some nails as well. For use in stuff. Not a particularly pretty build or anything like that, but it will do for now. Get us some iron going, get us some nail going. We're out of sage, so it seems like each sage plant produces 30 healing potions. So we probably gonna get some more. But I didn't want to overdo it. There's a cost to it, but how about the timer? It is less than half, so it does seem like only like 4, maybe 5 to keep it satiated. I think 4 probably. Maybe it's only 3 even, because this was definitely satiated at 4, so probably. And it's the same ratio on the flaxseed as it's on the sage, so. Anyways, we're back to waiting a bit. But what we can do, and this is the other thing that is needed with the linen thread here. So what we can do is we can unlock linen. Start producing that. So how do you make linen, you say? Not in here apparently. Do it here. Oh, just we need a lot of linen thread. 180, and this is producing 30. So we need 6 times the amount that we're currently doing here. That's not gonna happen. But we will start producing a tiny bit. This is in perfect ratio, so we should move this. So there's a bit more room. I think here, probably. This part here. After we get some more planks. Actually, probably not copy. Let's just do this. Need more flags for this, obviously. But this is gonna do 90 per minute. Oh, we actually need one of these first, right? And then we can go in there. There we go. So is gonna do 30 per minute, linen thread. Just a sixth, which means we're gonna get 3 per minute of linen, which isn't a whole lot, but it's something. We'll get a few up out on because we're gonna need to sell it. Can this reach? It can. And there we go. Okay, so we got linen down and we got some more sage going here. Let's just get that in there immediately. Back to making healing potions, and we need some more stone. Just produce stone. Our mortars is really good. There's no need for more mortars currently. Yeah. See, do we have anything? We don't. We just have our main quest. But as you could see, this tier, what do you want to call it, was a bit more involved. And at least the next couple of tiers are going to be in the same vein, that they're going to get more and more involved. And then they're going to gradually get a little bit smaller, but more complex as well. So the complexity keeps rising. And obviously at some point we're gonna need to make a good like setup for this linen that has some good ratios, because currently we're doing 3 linen per minute, just on the low side, definitely. And especially if we want to create bandages as well, which do sell for a lot, so they're definitely worth it. But we do need a bigger setup in order to handle that. But we should soon be able to do that. We have some iron and some nails as well, so we can get going a little bit in that direction. Because we have these lampstands. That are really smart. We still have our 5 silver, and we have a more copper than we did, so we're actually making a profit, it seems. We did do a bunch of quests left over from the previous days, so it's not necessary that we are able to keep up with the pace, but I mean, then we get almost 1,000 from the guys, so definitely a decent starting point. This game manual is actually pretty good. If you want to read through it, it just explains how to do every different kind of thing in the game, so definitely check that out. But obviously, I've been explaining it, so might not be necessary. So the thing with bandages is that it also needs potion. Oh, and the thing is, we need to hurry to get our seeds in the ground before the day ends in a little bit. Okay, woo, we barely made it, but we did make it, so that is good. Daily summary here. Rope, doing well. Mortars, not so much interest. Linen, doing pretty decent. Obviously, the quest rewards are carrying us here. Um, but yeah, that's pretty decent. Sage almost done here. Good thing we made it though. No freaking way. The game crashed. I mean, I haven't been playing this game for so long, but I've never had that happen, and I've had much longer sessions. Not sure. Luckily, the game auto saves, and especially like at day's end, so not a big deal. We're back. Nothing, nothing missing. Just had a day end. But whew, that was not so nice, definitely. Okay, so we can do 2 boxes. Anyways, we got our healing potions taken care of. Our main quest also gives us more money. And we can do this one, which is gonna be nice. And then we need iron nails, small wooden gears, and large wooden gears. Not sure about this one. Iron nails, don't have that many, and we do need quite a few. So maybe we'll wait on that one. But one cool thing is with that carpenter quest, we have this bigger display. And another thing we unlocked from getting to this level is the automatic cash register, which is gonna be very nice because then we don't have to deal with the customers ourselves. We can just funnel money into this box. Sweet. So what do we want to use our points on? I think what I do want to do is, well, next time I would like to have this for 100%. So I think I'm just gonna upgrade the belt speed and then not use. I could have just waited also, but I'm not gonna use the extra build speed because it's gonna mess up the ratios. But now that I know that, next time I'll use it. Quite a bit bigger of an area this time. One thing we also need to get going though is well, obviously our sage, and we need to plant some new seeds. That is step number one. There we go. Plenty of money left, but what we need to get going is some verticality to this building. So how do you do that? Well, there is a research here called the workbench, and we can upgrade some gear that our character's wearing. Oh, and now we can see this in action. It sells automatically, takes the money, runs it out here into the box. And then whenever we run low on cash, we can just come here and get money from this box, which will have all our profit. Another thing we're gonna want to build is this, though. For our potions. Get some of those out there on the shelves. Because these potions are the real deal. Potions are some of the best for money making. They produce at a pretty decent rate when you get the setup going. And they sell for a lot, as you can see here, 85 for the healing potion. So that's nice. Okay, so let's get into the next chapter. I know we're still missing the bandages, but we're gonna wait with that a little bit. I don't think we have any quest. Well, we have this one, but we're not gonna worry about that one. No, what we wanted to do was get the workbench first. We do need our nails for that. So let's put that down, and as you can see, for inventory, larger inventory, we're gonna need linen thread, so we do need to get some of that. Sleep time, we don't really want to mess too much with that at this point, at least. Building tool, which is what we want to get this to level 2. So let's go through level 1. Now we can build a little bit, and the next one is bricks and clay. You don't have to have this standing, fortunately. But what you saw there was we got some more stuff that we can build. Chandelier, lighting, stuff like that. Verticality platform a little bit, but not entirely what we want. What we want now, though, then is to get clay and bricks. So we're gonna need the crucible. We might also want to get the purchasing portal, but as you can see, research keeps getting more expensive, so we want to conserve probably the research that we do. Purchasing portals are really neat because they allow us to... Yeah, let's get some more wood. No, some more limestone. Yeah, let's get some wood as well. They provide the input basically to these, so the logs and the limestone, you can automatically purchase that if you can send some money into the purchasing portal, but that requires that you can send some money. So what you usually do is you make a belt that goes around your entire factory, and then you place these money portals next to these belts so it can start like immediately feeding into. And we will be doing that, but not quite yet, because we would need to basically move everything around. So we're gonna wait until we can have a little more efficiency. Although maybe we're not that far off. Anyways, we want to get clay, and another thing we want to look at least is this basic fertilizer, because what this allows us is with a nursery we can automatically produce flax and sage, so we don't have to do this whole setup. Basic fertilizer isn't that powerful though. What we really want is advanced fertilizer in the next tier. So maybe we actually skip it, because I think it's quite a big build, basic fertilizer, for it to do anything. So maybe it's best to just manually fill some boxes for now. I think it might be. Anyway, we got clay. It's not something that we can sell, so we can just keep the research going directly into bricks, which is made from clay anyways. But yeah, we will get one of these setups going and see. Bricks. So we got a few new things. We got the clay, and for clay we need charcoal powder, and as you can see, charcoal powder has a heat value and it's better than planks as well. So we're definitely gonna want to make some charcoal powder. We can't make efficient ratios if we decide to spend the charcoal powder powering the furnace, but it's much more efficient, like money-wise, even though we won't get the full ratios out of it. So I still think that it's the right thing to do. So anyways, let's look at the clay. How do we make clay? We make clay from charcoal powder. Charcoal powder is charcoal that's planks which have been put in a crucible, and then it's been ground into a powder. And then sand, which is stone, which we're producing like this, ground into a powder. Quite a big build. Can I delete the bed? I can't delete the bed yet. We don't have any raw materials or anything on this currently. Maybe we will dismantle our iron setup here. And let's just see. Let's start with the charcoal powder also, so we can self-feed it. Let's put this in here. So it needs to be ground, and I'm pretty sure this is not the correct ratio. Let's just move this out here. So let's see. What do we get? Obviously, we need to provide this with some fuel temporarily. Just to kickstart the process, and what we can do is we can actually just throw it in there directly. So 22.5 per minute, this produces 45, so this is the correct ratio, and then these do, okay, this is the correct ratio. That is good. And then we want to put it in here, and we have these nifty stands that allow belts to go underneath. And we will do this. So we take our charcoal powder down and we feed it into our furnace. So now we have a self-feeding setup, which is nice, and they burn for a lot longer as well, which is nice. And then we are gonna want to use some of this, or we're gonna want to use the rest of the charcoal powder as well for our clay production. And how much clay do we need? Oh, not that one. 7. How much for clay? We need 45, which is what we're producing minus whatever it takes to power this. So we should just be able to take the output from here and pop it into a assembler, and then we need 90 sand. Let's see, sand, stone, so let's take one of these. Pop a stone in here. We will harvest. So our things don't run dry. Although it seems like this one did. Because we're making both. So maybe we need a few more flax seeds. Maybe like 16. Okay, yeah, so you can see here the potions, they are a big seller. Obviously, seeds cost a lot as well, so, but we are in a little bit of a positive, especially with the quest rewards, but yeah, so, but this part is that we probably won't be able to keep up that production rate because we just had some left over, right? Anyways, let's see some quests we have. Bandages, this is for, it's a permanent quest, don't have to do that right now. Bricks, mortars, but iron nails for both of them. I don't think I want to do these. Maybe this one though, for the metal box, bigger storage chest. But I think for now I'll also just wait. We're in day number 6. Don't have room for the last one. Let's just put it there. We're in day number 6 now, so this will be the final day of this episode. But yeah, as you can see, we had a lot more healing potions now, but we're only resupplying one. But we are producing quite a few more that we are selling, so we could actually do this and just supply 2 shelves. How much money in here? Okay, so we got quite a lot of money in here, which is nice. Probably want to get the bank portal soon then, so we can convert this from copper into silver. But we're in the middle of this, and it takes 7.5 stone, produces 7.5 sand. From here we get 30, so we actually need 4 for 1. Which is an annoying number. And this produces 30 sand. So we would really actually need like 3 of this. Not sure if we have room for that. Maybe we could do this. Remove this one. We can do something like this. Right, so stone goes out here and the sand goes out here on a belt here, and then we can take this. We can copy it. Now we have a belt of 90 sand. And 45 to get our clay. Cool. So that wasn't actually that hard. Let's get our clay, and then we need to turn this into bricks though. Probably also need to get some more money first of all. 26,000, cool. Inventory full. Okay, so next up we need to modify this a little bit so we can also get some more into here. There we go. Obviously this takes down the ratio even further, but that is fine. This will just clog up and these just won't run if there's a clog. So it's not like it's gonna be less cost efficient. We're just not gonna get the amount here of clay that we potentially wanted. But I'm fine with that. And then we need a kiln, which needs some clay. Probably want it like this, and it takes bricks, and you can see it even only takes 15 clay, so we'll have some surplus clay either way. We're gonna want to do this. Nope, that's the wrong way around. Here we go. With our clay being produced, and also a box for the leftover clay. We can kickstart or throw our stuff in there, and this is already full of sand, so I will just throw out our excess sand. Don't need to limit it in my inventory either. Probably want to grab a few more planks though. So what do we have of quests? Iron nails, vitality potion. We probably want to get iron up and running. But anyways, we have here our clay in a box. Oh, sorry, clay in a box, brick in a box, a pretty small setup. I don't think it can get much more compact currently. We could probably rotate this a little bit out of the way and like rotate this the other way, move this forward, and then yeah, maybe we could save like a tile or two in this direction, but the width is pretty much how it can be with what we have right now. So that is, I'm pretty happy with that. We're getting our bricks, and let's just remember what we wanted it for. We wanted for this workbench. We need 30 bricks and 30 clay. So that is what we are aiming for. Let's get our flags going here. Do have a little bit left over. That's fine. Money's decent. Everything is pretty good. So for now, I think the best to do is just to wait, because we don't really have the space to, I mean, we could obviously redo this a little bit over here. We could move this forward a little bit, but I would rather just wait for the clay so we can get some verticality going. We can knock down these walls, get up on the second floor, and start some more factory things there. Bricks are also a good that needs to be sold eventually, but currently we need all of it. this is definitely not satiated fully, which seems like we are making not so much charcoal powder because we're using it, but I mean, that is how it is. The alternative is to fuel them using a dedicated charcoal setup. I mean, could just do it with planks, but what's the point in that? We could do one of these. Just place it. I don't know, maybe. Do we have room for that? Do you actually have room for that? So maybe we should just do that. Get the true ratios out of this. That might be better. That might be better. Let's get some more seeds going. Should keep this preoccupied, and then we just need to get some stone so we can get the sand production going. Do have what we need here and what we need here. Let's get our building level 2. Awesome, and then the next one is steel, which is a little way off. But yeah, so this allows us to tear down these walls. That is also the end of day 6 and then the end of this episode. Next episode we are definitely gonna be... Oh, and we can also see this is actually a profitable day. We got a little over 4,000, like 4,500 copper in profit without any quests. So that is actually pretty neat, and we also didn't sell any bricks, which few of these stones and the wood has actually gone towards, so we are profitable. Anyways, so yeah, this is the end of episode 1, and next time we'll definitely be getting into the vitality potion and the next tier, the purchasing portals and maybe some fertilizer and stuff like that when we expand upwards into the next floor for some more space. And then we will actually also try and consolidate, like space-wise, some of these contraptions we have set up already, such that we have a little more space to work with. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching along, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. All right.